Good afternoon and welcome to your favorite weekly current affairs program, 60 Minutes Nigeria. Well, on today's edition, we'll be taking a look at another crucial national issue, and it has to do under matters arising, external assistance in tackling insecurity in the country. That's what we are focusing on today. Joining me to dissect this topic, we have with us a very, very highly respected clergy and, of course, Secretary of Christian Association of Nigeria, Sir Best Iriabe. Nice to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me. Also.
Okay. We have a legal practitioner in Edo State with us, Barrister Idowo Eboegbe. Nice to have you with us. So, we are looking at other matters arising, the issue of tackling insecurity with aid from foreign partners, external assistance. The Chief of Army Staff only recently said that the federal government, that the Nigerian Army will collaborate with both the Cameroonian and the Chadians, the Chadian Army, as a way of enhancing the fight against insurgency, terrorism, and all other forms of crimes, especially in the northeast. So, welcome to this week's edition. My name is Egosa Agbalao. Let's get started, and we'll start with Sir Best Iriabe. Do you think Nigeria needs to seek external assistance in the fight against insecurity?
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong about that. But the only surprising thing is that they are just talking about it now.
Okay.
I would have expected that the countries surrounding Nigeria, that is flanking Nigeria, both west, north, and south, like Cameroon, Chad, and that they would have been having that collaborative plan to stem the tide of insecurity. Because what is happening in Nigeria is also happening in Chad.
Okay.
It's happening in Cameroon and stuff like that. One would have expected that there would have been a long-time synergy of the security operatives of these various countries to stem the tide. They are just talking about it, and it's very surprising to me. There's nothing wrong with seeking assistance, particularly by way of information gathering, coming together to boots on the ground by both the security officers of these various countries, so that when they are being chased away from Nigeria and they are going there, they also start to chase them away. They will have no place to hide. There's nothing wrong in doing that. It's a pity that we continue to, the issue of insecurity in Nigeria has become a recurring decimal. And I dare say that the activities of herdsmen, the Fulani herdsmen, has completely engulfed Nigeria. So there's nothing you can do about it. So you need to synergize with the security operatives within and around you to fight this battle. Then if you want to go beyond the intelligence gathering, people can be, our security forces can be trained for intelligence gathering by external forces. They can also help us with weapons to fight this insurgency. Because the dramatic personnel in this heinous crime parade goes with very sophisticated weapons. And so we need such weapons that can match with them or even surpass them. And there's nothing wrong if we ask even bigger countries like the United States of America, European Union to help us. But if we do seek their assistance, are we sure they will be used for the purpose for which they are brought?
But don't you think the pride of Nigeria will be at stake?
We don't have any pride. What pride is that? There's no pride again. We have been completely overwhelmed. We have been, in fact, also, let me tell you one thing. Nigeria, we are pretenders. Our leaders are pretending. They've lost touch with realities. They cannot fight insurgency. Ask any soldier who will volunteer information. They will tell you that they are just scratching the surface ever since. We have been completely outrun. I mean, you like to hear that whereas the information minister has been telling us that, before they came to power, Boko Haram had sway in some local government, and so they dislodged them. They still hold sway in those local governments. They still hold sway. So what are we proud of? We are proud of nothing. So we must seek assistance. We must humble ourselves to seek assistance because we do not have the wherewithal anymore to fight this battle. It's all around us. We are completely overwhelmed. So people say, don't call the Fulani herdsmen. You don't have the truth.
We don't want to call the Fulani herdsmen.
They are. Have you ever seen a Edo herdsman?
We have other persons who are also herdsmen.
Look. Have you ever seen a Benin herdsman or a San herdsman or a Sako herdsman?
But there are other tribes from the north who are also herdsmen.
These are Fulani herdsmen. We are Negroid people. We know them. Look at the people the other day, 2 days ago, the one they caught, his name was Sadiq. And looking at his face, you know that he's not from here.
No, his facial looks might be deceptive.
No, he even said so himself.
But let's just narrow it to herdsmen.
Said that. Yes. He narrow it to herdsmen just because we want to be economized. We want to be economy of words.
Okay.
And so we want to speak with innuendo for the sake of not saying the truth. We don't want to resort to innuendo here. We have been so overwhelmed to the extent that what's the
meaning of that?
You see, very difficult to decode that. Now the thing is up to our neck. We can no longer sleep. I was just driving from far away just now. My goodness. You are going to see some young boys, where they came from, nobody knows. They just see that they are the tens of thousands, hundreds. Where did they come from? And somebody said, that any time they come with trailers of cattle of maybe 100, 30 of them will be inside. And when the cattle they are discharged, they themselves are discharged.
There's free movement in Nigeria.
There's free movement in Nigeria. But
all we are saying is that we don't want criminals.
We don't want criminals. Yes. And that's what we are faced with now. There are criminality is here from external bodies. In Benin, we grew up to meet somebody when you put your mango, whatever you are selling, OT and the rest of them, in the front of your house, nobody is there. You look at them, you take one and put money there. The person will come in the evening and collect his money and count them. That's how we are.
That was in the good old days.
These external people, they have come, they have given, we cannot sleep, we have lost our sleep and everything. So we must call this problem by its real name. We must call the perpetrators by their real names. There's no need to talk with innuendo again. We are tired. Okay. So as this program progresses, we are going to provide some solutions.
Okay, this is your introductory remarks. Well, Nigeria is bedeviled with insecurity, and we are also aware of what the federal government is doing in terms of tackling insecurity. But the issue we are discussing today, is it proper for the federal government to ask for external assistance in the fight against the different crimes, very, very disturbing crimes? The state of insecurity is worsening. So let's get the thought of Barrister Idogo Eboigbe. What's your take?
Well, it's a very, very sad situation.
Okay.
Every day we hear records of increasing numbers of citizens of Nigerians being slaughtered, wantonly, for no just provocation, unabated, and it continues on a daily basis. And then you ask me, what is now the essence of nationhood? Primary essence of any nation is to secure lives and property. And now this is seriously under extensive threats. Human life is no longer sacrosanct. You have different sets of individuals taking human lives continuously, and it continues unabated. And people are now living in fear, intense fear. Everybody's looking for a way out. The young ones are desperate to leave the country by all means and any means possible, because the primary purpose of government has been overshadowed. Human life is no longer safe. And then you look at the Nigerian situation, you look at these issues of insurgency, herdsmen and all that. If you want to call the situation precisely the way it appears, Nigeria is presently fighting a guerrilla warfare whereby the rules of engagement, the rules of war is being totally obliterated and neglected. People just come out from nowhere, they kill people, and it's almost becoming a norm. And it is sad, it is abysmal, it is painful, and it's a pivotal pointer to the failures of the present society put together. Now we are bedeviled with this situation. As it appears Nigeria is almost losing the capacity to tackle insecurity in Nigeria. Generally, under the law, you have what they call the sovereignty of nations. A nation is sovereign. It has the rights, the powers to undo and do within its state without external interference. But as the law has developed, we now know that sovereignty is not absolute. It's a social construct between the people and government, that government performs its obligations to the people, and the people on the other side duly respect and show their patriotism to the government. As it were, people are dying. Human lives have been lost. Everybody is living in fear. When you drive even within your cities by 6, shops are being closed. People are practically living under constant fear. It is appropriate at this time, if as a nation we have lost the bearing, we lack the capacity to effectively tackle, not just saying it in words but in action, that people can now return to their homes. In the north, majority of people are being displaced. You have so many internally displaced persons within their own country. It is painful, and most of these are direct results of what? Conflict. The activities of Boko Haram, herdsmen, militia, and these people, they carry what? Dangerously sophisticated weapons. Very dangerously sophisticated weapons, and they kill without reason civilians that have no form of defense. At this point, whatever measure Nigeria can take, not just saying it in words but in action, whatever measure possible, including seeking international and external interference in tackling the present evil within our nation, it will be highly welcomed, and it will be a beautiful development in the right direction. Because when you look at it, ordinarily, Nigeria as a nation, we have the capacity to tackle these herdsmen. You have the capacity to tackle this Boko Haram. But when you look at it critically, the political will is seriously lacking. International communities have labeled Boko Haram herdsmen as terrorists. In fact, international communities have labeled Boko Haram the 4th terrorist group in the world. We fail to give them that due recognition. We fail to treat them with that same measure. It's a desperate ailment, requires desperate therapy. We are treating these issues with kid gloves, perhaps because those in authority have not suffered the ill fate of losing their loved ones, of losing their properties, of losing their means of livelihood. But in the north, it's a frequent occurrence and happening to simple Nigerians. I think at this stage, it is opposite. It is necessary that whatever measure our leaders can do to show to the whole world that Nigeria, that they are willing to tackle insecurity in Nigeria, they should do it. It should not be beyond just saying we are sorry, people are dying. We should see concerted actions and efforts. We should beg for international interference, because generally international communities will not interfere except they have an interest or a benefit to derive from interfering. But in this present situation, people are dying. People are living in fear. Cost of living is increasing. The whole insecurity is having devastating implications on the general economy. Farmers can't go to farm. When you go to the market, prices are escalating, yet employment level is not increasing, salaries are not increasing, and we are forced to live in this situation. Therefore, Nigerians are living in serious hardship. Nigerians are not finding it funny at all.
Okay.
If it means we should beg for international interference as a nation, we should humble ourselves and beg, so that we can come out of this very dangerous quagmire bedeviling the nation.
Thank you very much. We'll come back to you. Former Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu has enjoined the federal government to seek assistance from foreign countries to protect the sovereignty of the country, its people, and democracy. Then the Christian Association of Nigeria also appealed to the federal government to seek external assistance in the fight against the spate of insecurity. We have Sabeh Sirabe, who has emotionally spoken. Yes, Khan says federal government must seek external assistance.
Yes.
Former Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu has also added his voice. Now, in the northeast, in the south-south, in the southeast, almost every part of the country, there's one conflict or the other. Do you think that the Nigerian military Nigerian security architecture, do you think it's overstretched?
I think it's overstretched, and they also lack the wherewithal to carry on this fight. Just this morning ago, sir, very early in the morning, near a primary school at Ubioko.
Okay.
3 young persons were slaughtered, burnt with their vehicle, burnt. We don't know what happened. The school children gathered around. We looked at it. I'm sure ITV may capture.
Yes, ITV has gone there.
They have already they've gone there.
We are aware. Yes.
See, that borders on what our sister is saying, that insecurity is everywhere. Now, yes, seeking assistance, we have said so at the level of Khan, and Ekuremadu has also lent his voice to that. But I dare say that even though that is possible, we have not fully utilized our capacity to fight insurgency within us. I tell you why. We need state police just now. If we must fight insurgency, particularly within ourselves, we need state police just now. Now, our jungles, our forests in Edo State, let us use Edo State as a case study.
Okay.
Our forests in Edo State have been completely taken over by herdsmen. Nobody can go to farm. They now know our forests more than us. That's a shame. We need state police, because sometimes we say, we want to economize the truth. We don't want to talk, so that we don't economize anything. We need state police. It's so in other crime rather.
Yeah.
Now, for instance, how do you explain that you bring a commissioner from Adamawa to come and be a commissioner of police in Edo State? What does he know? He doesn't speak the language, does not know the culture of the people. Because we have just one federal police who have lost their capability to police Nigeria. At this point in time, all the governors, and I don't know why, all the governors up by now ought to be united in crying for state police. After all, every governor, kudos to our governor here, Obaseki, look at what he's doing. All that money they have been putting into federal police, they can put them together to fund a state police. Why? When you have a state police, the state police they will recruit the locals, the people here. They know the terrain. They can police the jungle, and so on and so forth.
So the community policing has started.
What community police? Still under the federal police. There's a lot of bureaucratic red tape in that area. What I've seen some constabulary recently now. They are going on not even with a stick, or with their bare hands. What are we talking about? We are just deceiving ourselves here. The governors, the 36 state governors, must urgently come out today to press for a state police. When you have state police, people who know their people. Look, listen to me. When Anini had sway in Bender State, we were told that Anini was invisible. He was a daredevil individual when it comes to crime,
Robber
and robbery. He's a daredevil robber. Anini could not be caught. It was terrible. It took the wisdom of Babangida to say, "Oh, I know what to do. Let me send their own son to them." And kudos to retired DIG Paddy Osanya, they were sent to Benin because he knows the terrain. He spoke the language. He knows the language of Anini. In less than a month, that Paddy Osanya came to Benin, Anini was caught. Opposite to go to that primary school, 10 secular in Benin, he was caught. He spoke Benin to him. He caught them like fowls. Then how will you tell somebody to come from Sokoto to come and do that? It's not possible. So just now, the federal police should be there. All governors should be united, call for state police, and in the midst of that, also have your vigilante. Well, the governor had just done something recently to try to empower some people, vigilante. When I saw some of them, they carried a gun that looked like a day gun. In 2021, one long something, it was a day gun.
Like a barrel.
A barrel. I mean, we are joking. You see, let's call a spade a spade. We need state police now. We need the constabularies, they want to be policing. The constabulary, have you seen them in your neighborhood? They are in the ring road. I've not seen them in my neighborhood. That's the work of constabulary. They live with the people. Now, in other climes, Germany, Italy, and everywhere, you have all kinds of police because of the level of crime to reduce it. You have the federal police, you have the local government police, you have the local native authority police. We once had it here. I was surprised in Italy the other day when I was in Rome. I saw a certain police. They said they only come out in the night. They are called Metronote, Night Express. They come out only. They are daredevil strikers. they come out only in the night. And when they come out and you are a criminal, you are finished. So you have all this, but they collaborate. You have the federal one, so we need to do that now. We have the money to do so. I'm aware of the enormous resources that the various state government they are spending on the federal police. By way of Operation Wabaziga is here. Vehicles were bought for them. The governor cannot follow them anywhere. We need state police. You know why? So that the governor can command them. We are told that the chief security officer of each state of Nigeria is the governor. That's a lie. It's not true. He doesn't command anything. We are joking here. What does Obaseki command the federal police? Can he tell the commissioner of police, come now, come?
But the whole security meetings
where they deliberate. Yes. You see, some of these things are just whitewash sepulcher. A whitewash sepulcher. You see a flowery meeting or whatever. The governor does not command anybody. Yes, they hold meetings. But if there's a state police, he will command him. Bring your troops out. There's something going on there. Now, what we are seeing in Nigeria is that we are on top of the situation. We are not proactive. It is when somebody has been killed or people have died, they will say, oh, police will run there. Say, okay, we are going to look that we are on top of the situation. Then the next day they will parade some people. We are just call people now. Why were you not able to have intelligent gathering to know that such a thing was going to happen and bust it like in other clime? So we still have the capacity, but we have not stretched it. So I'm saying that to fight crime in Nigeria, in Edo State, we need state police commanded by the governor who is funding them, so that at any given point in time they'll be the first to arrive. But we don't have that just now.
Okay.
We must help ourselves before we begin to seek external help. Like my sister said, even Mark Betu said so, that desperate diseases are by desperate means solved.
Thank you.
Need police, the state police now.
Thank you very much. That's Bestiri Abe. Like I told you, it's very emotional on the program today because of the gravity of insecurity. The spate of insecurity in Nigeria is alarming, gives cause for concern, and my guests are dissecting the issue and also looking at areas that the government can quickly fix, because the people need adequate security of lives and property so they can sleep with their two eyes closed. Well, the director has just told me we'll take a break now. After this brief break, we'll continue with the program 60 Minutes Nigeria. Okay, nice to have you back. I hope that you are enjoying the program. It is 60 Minutes Nigeria, and our focus today is on the need for the federal government to seek external assistance in tackling the different crimes, the spate of insecurity in the country. Well, Barrister Edowawe Boigbe, now, the issue of state police has cropped up, the issue of community policing and all of that. But the Nigerian military are well trained in terms of fighting external aggression. Now, the Nigerian military are also now saddled with internal security. So do you think Nigerian military or the security architecture is overstretched?
I want to say categorically, the security institutions in Nigeria is by no stretch of the imaginations being overstretched. The challenge bedeviling Nigeria presently is one, the lack of political will to effectively tackle insecurity in Nigeria. And secondly, misplaced priority. As a nation, we have failed to realize that the greatest challenge now bedeviling Nigeria is insecurity. I want to say, first of all, why do we have a federation? We have a federation to bring government closer to the people. That's why you have your local governments, your state governments, and the federal government in the center. As a nation, the idea of a federation is to see that activities of government gets down to the grassroots level. But because our priorities are misplaced, we are putting the cart before the horse. We are more interested in getting money for the government coffers by any means. We have lost focus of the challenge crippling the nation as a whole. Our soldiers our military, by no stretch of imagination, they can effectively tackle insecurity if they are given the wherewithal to do so, if they are given the powers, the authorities to do so, if they are given adequate equipment to tackle, because these herdsmen, these militia, they come with very sophisticated weapons that our present military force cannot even stand. What is now the essence of so much federal resources? If we can train them effectively, if we can equip them effectively, if we can give them enough powers to fight and use their discretion, you have the Air Force to control the airspace, you have the Marines to control the waterways, you have the soldiers on the field. They will flush out these criminals. Then at the local level, look at our state for instance. When you come out, you see diverse, multiplex forms of task force collecting revenue for government on various schedules. And I say this is a clear case of misplaced priorities. The resources put into these multiple task force in different kinds of uniform, equip them, give them weapons, go into the forest, have forest guards, work at them, because I want to explain a particular situation.
Yes.
Nigerians are being overstretched with all forms of imaginations in all sides. The stress level in Nigeria is even generating its own form of what? Criminality, turning innocent, young, vibrant men into criminals. First of all, graduates are turning out every day. Employment level is reducing daily. They must survive. Cost of living is increasing at an astronomical scale. You buy something 1,000 today, tomorrow you come is 1,500. By nature, human beings are forced to survive. By the time the atmosphere is so tense, the bad nature of the human being will be forced to come out, and you will now be seeing diverse forms of criminality. You can look at the issue of cultism bedeviling our states. Our youth, they are unemployed. They are unemployed, they are not occupied. As it has rightly been said, an idle mind is what? The devil's workshop. There are other ways of engaging this youth, because the issue of insecurity is multiplex. You have the issue of the herdsmen, you have the issue of Boko Haram, you have the issue of internal insecurity, armed robbers, kidnappers, cultism. What is fueling all these crimes? I think government should take a step backward and look at the situation. All these multiplex task force on the highway causing hold up, threatening people when they are driving just because they want to get more revenue. They should be utilized in other factors. Don't forget, somebody that cannot survive with his salary, you catch him on the road and you give him a fine of 15,000, and he cannot forget his car because he cannot pay. You are forcing him into crime. That is the natural result, because employment is not there. Nigerians are stretched. When you go out, you see the increasing number of mentally challenged people on the way. Many of them are going into hazardous forms of behavior, smoking, drinking, and all that. Government can on its own improve employment, engage the youth in that area. Those levels of crime will be reduced. And when you come to the issue of herdsmen, have local policing, engage vigilantes. They should be in the forest. These herdsmen, they are not in the sky, they are not spirits. They are all over our forest. But because at the end of the day, the forest, they are left bare. You don't have forest guards, you don't have vigilantes, our borders are porous, people can come in as they like. The issue of insecurity will continue, and it's continually fueled because at the end of the day, those that have are well secured. Their children are abroad. At the end of the day, the masses suffer the brunt. I feel governments of every state, our federal government, should take a panoramic view and assess the situation. Equip our military, because this is internal aggression. It's internal aggression threatening the sovereignty of the nation. It also requires our best form of military to tackle. They should be in the forest. It's a form of guerrilla war. We should not treat it with kid gloves. At the local government level, local government should use their security votes. They should use their security to engage local vigilantes, going everywhere in the community. Most of these task force everywhere, engage them in local vigilantes, equip them, and we will see that when people realize that they have a 90% chance of being caught when they go into crime, and they have alternative means of trying to survive, and they know that if I open a business, I will not be frustrated with paying tax everywhere, I will not be harassed everywhere, they will be forced to use their energy positively.
Thank you very much. Sir Besirabi,
Yes.
we're talking about issue of our forests.
Yes.
Be taken over by foreigners,
Yes.
or by persons who are not known within the communities.
Yes.
Now, you talked about the issue of forest gas.
Yes.
How can that be effective, really?
Exactly. You see, we talk about the good old days. We used to have forest guards,
Okay.
forest rangers. They combed the forest, but their traditional role was to guard against felling of logs
Yes.
illegally and stuff like that. But these logs are found in the jungle, so these forest guards know everywhere within the jungle. In fact, they live there literally.
Okay.
Some of them are called forest rangers. If we were to bring that back, for instance, and arm them, that would also help a great deal.
Okay.
But that one is no longer, is gone, is extinct right now. We don't
But it
have
can be revived.
It can be revived. That's
Yeah.
the point we are making. It can be revived if the government have the political will to do so. And that's, I believe, that's the reason why we are on this program. Now, they used to have what they call, or recently, what they call National Livestock Transformation Plan. People planned it and they submitted their report to the president. But the political will is not there to implement what they said. Because Nigeria is the only place now where cows just roam about. You can even see some in the ring road, at the ring road. In other clime, we talk about ranching. The other day, somebody jokingly drew a cartoon. He said, "Behold, the cows of the Federal Republic of Nigeria." The cows of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So people believe, they love cows even more than human beings. So what we need to do is to look at that livestock transformation plan that talks about ranching. That you don't need to carry your cow and begin to wander about. Ranching, put them in one place, plant grass. Look, I met somebody in Nazareth.
Okay.
So we're introducing ourselves in the forum, and the person said, "I'm a farmer." I said, "Oh, you're a farmer." So I inquired, I said, "What crop do you plant?" He said, "I'm a farmer of grass." I was shocked. I said, "Grass?" I was waiting to hear potato, wheat, rice. He said, "No." He said, I plant grass." I said, "What do you do with grass?" He said, "I supply grass to ranches." So
That's another form of business.
that's another form of business. So government should also engage its youth so that we can have that. It's in the national transformation plan, that will be submitted to the government. But there's no political will to bring it out. Now, number three, my sister said it. We have teeming youths that are doing nothing, that ought to have been engaged. In the good old days, you have what we call sports. Sports can take a chunk of these youths out of the street, out of courtesy, and be fully engaged. You have what we call Principal Cup. You have what we call Governor's Cup. Greater sports. Universities games. Even those days in our own time, we are having inter-class football competition. Inter-house. You don't have any of those anymore. So these children comes out of university. I was asking my baby the other day, who is in university, I said, "See, you attended social school. Did you play football?" Well, I said, "No, where is the field? We didn't play football, nothing." So that's exactly what it is. If we have those, I was just discussing why we school out of the studio.
Yeah.
I said, while we were in school, better insurance would be moving around schools and begin to recruit footballers. Some of them were all in class 4, class 5. So at the moment they graduate, because they are good footballers, they don't retain them.
That's Benetron's Football Club.
The
coaches will be moving around
schools,
to get players from secondary
schools and recruit them before they graduate. And the moment they graduate, they just go to camp. Where those ones are not there. Can we not bring those back? We are advocating using this program now. Let there be Principal Cup, Greater Cup, Governor's Cup, to get out this youth. They can do something. Those days, you don't talk about courtesy. This thing will take their energy is devoted to those areas. Exactly. So we don't have any of those.
To make these youths busy.
To make these youth to be alert to their responsibility, and they will be engaged. They'll be engaged. We don't have any of those anymore. So we are telling the state government to please do that. I must give kudos to our governor. Yesterday I saw him moving around to DV everywhere.
Yeah, the different local governments.
Let him not economize words. Our governor should speak like Akere Dolu, that all the headers in our jungle should leave. They should be expelled. You see, one of the traditional role of the soldiers is to defend the territorial integrity of a nation, vis-a-vis even the internal against internal aggression. Since they are trained to comb the jungle, it is not out of place to equip the soldiers very well, encourage them to go to the jungles. After all, what is the distance? Are you aware now? If somebody lost a parent and he called me, a friend of mine, I said, oh sorry, when is the burial? He told me, he advised me, he said, my brother, I thank you for commiserating with me, don't bother to come, I don't want to put people at risk. From Bini, Ekboma and Auchi.
Yeah.
Is that bad? So we need to engage our youth positively. They are not all bad. It's because we left them to roam all by themselves. That's why they resort to cultism and all that. If they bring all these things we are talking back now, skills acquisition and stuff like that, these children are very good. These children are very good. So headers that are giving us headache just now should be expelled from our forests.
Okay, we'll come back to you, Sir Best Iriabe. Only yesterday, the Senate deliberated, and one of the issues was the issue of insecurity, and one of the senators actually talked about what happened recently on Bini Auchi Road, en route to Abuja and other parts of the country. And it has been emphasized that there's need for our highways to be secured. There's need for security personnel to actually police our highways, patrol our highways, and prevent crime from happening. Okay, we are looking at the need for external assistance in tackling insecurity. And my guests have been able to look at other areas, factors that fuel insecurity, and how these factors can be tackled. So, in terms of closing remark, Barrister Idogo, now some countries will engage mercenaries to assist their military. Nigeria has not done that. Do you think Nigeria should be, the federal government should be looking at countries that are very good in terms of this issue of mercenaries that can complement the Nigerian military?
Well, I want to answer this question
from
both aspects. First of all, I want to ask this question. In the 21st century, is it only in Nigeria that they rear cattle? All countries of the world, they rear cattle. Beef meat is a staple form of protein in all countries of the world.
Yeah.
And what is happening in Nigeria has never been reported in any other country. I see there is this issue of precedence. You look at countries that have practiced something and they are successful in it, and you learn from it. Why can't Nigeria learn from better models that you can do ranching, that is inappropriate for certain people to claim so much power because they are training cattle? There is nothing special, nothing specific. Cattle is a private business, and by all means it ought to remain a private business. So we should learn from that aspect. And then secondly, as it appears, we have lost the landmark in tackling insecurity. It will not be out of place if we get in experts to educate our soldiers, to educate our police, to educate our military on better and more effective ways of tackling insecurity. It will not be out of place for Nigeria as a nation to learn from better models. Young Nigerians, those that have the needs, they are all running out of Nigeria to other countries. Why are they running there? Those ones have made their countries habitable, and we are living, we are deserting our country. We should learn from those models. We should practice it here. If it worked in America, if it worked in China, China's population is far more than Nigeria. But the issue of herdsmen crisis, you don't hear it in China. The issue of cattle running around the highways, you don't hear it in China. The issue of extreme terrorism, whereby a certain group of individuals in the form of ethnic cleansing go about killing individuals, you don't hear it in China. So it's not even an issue of Nigeria being overpopulated. We should learn from better models, and we should go back to the drawing board. Our leaders should please develop the political will, should be willing and ready to adequately equip all our military and force agencies. And as it is now, it will not be out of place for Nigerians, for our government to now engage the use of machineries, and because you see these herdsmen, many of them are militia. They are not normal herdsmen.
No.
That's the truth. The normal herdsman cannot have the kind of weapons that these headers, these headsmen are now, many of them are military. So we should use machineries, we should spend resources in seeing that this fight against terrorism, this fight against insecurity is not just in paper said to be fought, but in actual reality, it is actually being fought.
Thank you. Like I said, the Nigerian Senate House of Representatives resumed plenary yesterday. Nigerian Senate actually deliberated on the issue of insecurity. 107 senators actually commented on the issue of pervasive insecurity in the country. So, Nigerian Senate is also bothered.
Yes.
Sabeh Sirabe, closing remarks. Yes. Do you really think the country should be looking at bringing mercenaries? Israel is very good with that.
Yes.
Mercenaries, South Africa, they're also very good in terms of mercenaries. Do you think federal government should look at that option?
We should humble ourselves by doing what is right. If you have somebody, we have countries like Israel that you refer to.
Yeah.
They are very good in that. They can help us, particularly in intelligence gathering.
Okay.
Because you don't allow a crime to be hashed before you say, oh, I've come, and we are on top of the situation, we have arrested the perpetrators. But the person they have killed, the innocent person they have killed, cannot come back again. You have lost that soul. So let us engage countries like Israel, United States of America, to teach our forces, the military forces, or the armed forces, on intelligent gathering. Because before a crime is carried out, it has been planned in the heart. There's a place they have planned it. But if we have experts in intelligent gathering, we'll be able to know that tomorrow or so it appears that some kidnappers or robbers are going to operate so place. So now you go there to forestall it. We need that. We need assistance from such experts. Then number two, where are the Nigerian Air Force? Where's the Nigerian Air Force?
They are fighting in the Northeast.
They are fighting in the Northeast. Okay, we're fighting in the Northeast. We are talking about those states. Let the Nigerian Air Force in those states deploy once in a while their aircraft or helicopter to comb the jungles around those states and find out where these people are. We're not saying you should bomb them now. Just look at them and say, oh, they are here. This is their hideout, and they give the information to the military themselves, who will now go put boots on the ground and go there. That is exactly what they should also do. So we are encouraging the governor to engage the Nigerian Air Force once in a while, maybe once in a week, because what is happening now is so worrisome that we cannot afford to close our mouth. Now 107 senators are as worried as we are. That is a welcome development. That's to say that the entire country is worried. So we are asking the president to have the political will to do all this. And by way of a parting statement,
yes,
we need the state police that can be commanded by the sub-nationalities, by the governor. We need it now. Amotekun has sprung up. That is for want of a state police. They don't know what to do, so they have to quickly do that one. Now, what we're aiming at is the state police. We need it urgently. Now we need it. The South Side should come together if they want to do it at sub-national level or at state level to have a state police. It will help us. Number two, before that time, I want to urge the federal government to please stop sending commissioner of police who do not have a domicile origin in the state they are sent to. Let them do a kind of experiment with what I'm saying now. Bring an Edo man to Edo State. Let him talk to the criminals in a language they understand. Let him flush them out. Post DPOs to the areas where they come from and speak those languages with them. It's very, very important. Let them try it, and it's going to work out like magic. But if they just keep say, "Oh, we are on top of the situation,"
but then that will not be federalism.
We don't need that kind of federalism. We need unitary government. You see, that is where we got it wrong. The people that handed over to us dealt with us, the British people, when they amalgamated two straight bedfellows together.
So basically, that will be for another day. That will be for another day.
That's where the problem is coming from.
That will be for another day.
Okay. So we are supposed to be every state. Look at the US. You can see that their election. This state say this is how we want to do it here, and they do it that way. Let every state have their own constitution, for God's sake.
So probably that's why some Nigerians,
and then weaken the center and let the
probably that's why some Nigerians are talking about restructuring.
Yeah, restructuring. Let the center be weak. What do they need money for? Let it be weak. Let the state have money, and in fact, the local government. That's where the people are. Those are the people they should energize. And once that is done, you will see that what with the problem we are faced with now will begin to go away a road.
Thank you. Well, I must say that Sir Bessie Rabe has advocated a model. DPOs should be sent to their local government of origin, and commissioners of police should also come from their states. It's a model. It can be practiced. It can be tried. Let's see if that will actually solve the problem bedeviling the country. A quick one, your closing remarks, Barrister Adugo, a quick one.
Well, our federal governments, our state governments, all Nigerians should develop a positive attitude towards this fight against insecurity. And more importantly, at the state level, our government should try to engage our youth. Many of them, they have nothing really doing, not because it's their fault, but because activities are not there to keep them busy. And when they are not occupied, they will definitely be occupied negative because they have energy. They are youths. So our government should do more in creating opportunities, employment for the youth, and then the harsh conditions of living. Government should try and put in measures to ameliorate the harsh, difficult conditions of living.
Thank you very much, Barrister Adugo. Thank you very much, Sir Bessie Rabe. Your contribution has been very, very impressive. And I know our viewers, they've enjoyed this week's edition of the program. Keep a date with me, God willing. Next week, we'll be looking at another national issue. My name is Ego Sagmulao. Bye-bye.